feeling this is going to be really hard to get through. I also don't like the way the plant's coming out of your head.
Oh,
I never liked that.
Which plant?
It's always bothered me.
Petunias?
Patoonie.
Hey guys! Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Alexandra.
So you make fun of yourself and then you do it the exact same.
I know. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Alexandra. If you're new here, hello, I'm Alexandra, and I do... Hello. I do tons of room makeovers. I try to make designing and decor a little less intimidating. There is a fly buzzing around. Buzzing. Today's video is walking you through how I plan a room start to finish. A huge shout out to Millinote for sponsoring today's video. Before we started working together, I had never used Millinote, and now I can't not use it when designing a space. More about them later, but for now, let's get started. I wanted to do this video because I know that planning a space can be so overwhelming. Even for me, I do this all the time. It's like my full-time job. I still sometimes find rooms really intimidating to tackle, but I have been doing this a long time and I've come up with a process that really works for me, and I hope that it will also work for you. The kitchen is a little outdated and my landlord and I have been chatting about updating it. He's totally cool with me just like taking the reins and making it over. I'm very lucky that way. So I thought, what better video to show you how I plan a room start to finish when it's a room that I feel nervous to tackle. So I'm gonna walk you through. Make sure you stick around until the end because I'm gonna reveal the whole design plan to all of you. Yay. So step one is measure. Whenever I take on a space, I always go to the person's home and do a scout. So I take measurements of literally every single thing, every single wall, every single appliance, piece of furniture, whatever's in the room, I measure it, and I kind of come up with like a little plan, like a little drawing. I refer back to this so many times, so you want to make sure that you are measuring. Even if it's your own space, you want the measurements with you on your phone, in a notebook, because chances are when you're at the hardware store or picking out furniture, you're gonna be like, wait, how big is that wall? Will this piece of furniture fit there? You'll be referring to them a lot. Step two is to ask yourself what's working and what's not working. So usually when I go and do a scout and take measurements, I have a chat with the person's space I'm making over. No.
You said you talked to their space. You're like, hi, living room.
Hi, living room, what do you need? I always ask the person whose space I'm making over what is working, what's not working, what they love about their space, what they don't love about their space, and I really get a sense of what the person needs. Sometimes it's organization, sometimes it's a complete like style change, but asking these simple questions to yourself and your partner can really help when you're decorating your own space.
Hands down, what is working is the amount of storage in here. We have so much storage, cabinets, drawers, more cabinets. I've never had a pots and pans drawer before. I love it. Storage, definitely working. We even have under bench storage here. Speaking of this bench, this is working. I sit on this bench so often. I usually start my mornings here. I answer emails. I just love it, especially when it's not super hot and we have the air conditioning on. I open the window and sit and like let the breeze kiss my face. It's pretty sweet. What's not working though are these cushion covers. I wanna get these cushions and the pillows reupholstered. I'm also not loving this blind. It just doesn't really go with the rest of the space. Also, like, do we do something on this wall? I don't know, but this is working, just need a few decor tweaks. Other things that are working. This utility cupboard, which I'm gonna open up and you are gonna be shocked at how messy it is. Oh my God, that's embarrassing. I do have a video where I organize it because it is out of control. So yeah, this cupboard is working, but I'm not sure if I'm loving these doors. And Noah and I actually have an idea that we both kind of jointly came up with. So love this, need this. This is working. Also, this island and these stools, the island came with the apartment. We love it. We've put some glass jars with dried goods down here, a couple cookbooks. And these stools actually, I'm gonna link the shop down below. Larissa, who actually just joined Team AG, has a vintage store and she found these for us. They are amazing. I love them. So these are working, these are staying. I really like this schoolhouse style light. I think this will stay, possibly, but there's nothing, you know, wrong with it. I have no idea what I wanna do with the cabinet fronts. Noah and I actually had a big discussion last night about the kitchen cabinets. We were like, do we like them? Do we not like them? Our landlord is like up for an upgrade. He's like, if you guys wanna do an upgrade, totally fine with me. The good thing is that the bases, like all of the cabinets are IKEA. So the bases could stay, but what we could change is the cabinet fronts. And I feel like that would be a relatively inexpensive change to make because we would just need to take the doors off the hinges and the drawers as well. Like I said, nothing wrong with them, but we could add a little color or like, I don't know, more of a style in here. Right now it's kind of like a hodgepodge of things. Another thing that's not working, this fridge has got to go. It won't open, like it hits the wall, it's too wide. It's already made a dent in the baseboard there. Also, there's duct tape taping the crisper together. So, fridge is way too big. Me, Noah, and our landlord all agreed that this needs a bit of an upgrade. Something I find really helpful is I write down the changes I wanna make. So in this case, I've written down fridge. And then I go and I take measurements of the fridge and I write down exactly how large the fridge is now, but what size I will need to get to replace it. I can see that the fridge doesn't fit, so I just make an estimate on like, what kind of sizes are we looking for when we actually start shopping, and it makes it so much easier because when we're shopping, I can just look at my list and say, okay, I need a fridge that is like, I don't know, 4 feet by 8 feet or whatever. Is that the size of a fridge? Probably not.
This fridge is humongous. It's the biggest thing that I've ever seen. Alarm off. No.
But yeah, just makes that next step that much easier when you do the calculations up front. We really don't like the green backsplash. Our landlord also agrees. He was like, they put this in a while ago. It was kind of the cheapest thing they could find, and I just don't love it. So that is also definitely gonna change. Ooh, one thing that I didn't add that we love are the countertops. They're Caesar stone, real stone countertops, and they are beautiful. Those are the main things that I think could use a bit of an upgrade, a bit of a change. So I'm going to write those all down, get them on paper, and start taking some measurements.
This is not the time to be brainstorming ideas. You don't want to be like collecting ideas online at this point. There's so many times where I'm just like, oh, I have so many ideas, and then I get lost in all of the ideas. I don't know what measurements I'm working with, and the process just like isn't as smooth, and it's actually more overwhelming.
It sounds like you know what you're talking about.
Really?
Definitely, yeah.
That's shocking to hear you say, but also like, love that for me.
Yeah,
Once you have the list of things staying and the measurements, you want to consolidate everything in one place. I love using Milanote for this step. It really has changed the game. I was thinking this morning, when I used to do makeovers and wasn't using Milanote, I would have like notebooks filled with measurements, lists on Word, lists on my notes in my phone, and everything was just everywhere. But Milanote allows you to keep everything in one place. So I'm starting a board called Kitchen, and I'm just filling in all those things I know right off the bat. So you'll see I'm writing things down like I want a new Roman shade, here's the size it needs to be. I'm writing down the measurements of the fridge and what size the new fridge needs to be. And I'm also importing before photos as well to really give me a visual of what I'm working with and getting all those measurements and photos down in one place to start. So once I have all of the info in my board, now it's time to start to brainstorm. So this is where I just start browsing online. I look at Pinterest, I look at things I've already saved. I also feel like a lot of people approach this step by like looking for new ideas without realizing that they've probably saved ideas while they've been browsing Instagram, like in their saved folder. That's something I love to do. I love going onto Pinterest, looking at the things I've saved, and I always find patterns. Right now, I seem to be loving green kitchens, lots of neutrals, lots of like organic shapes, like arches, and it's just good to like get the juices flowing and see what things I'm already loving. This is where the Milano web clipper comes in super handy because as I'm browsing online, I can just save the photo or the product using this little web clipper, and it imports it into the board that I'm working on. So cool, so savvy. When you click on that product in your board, it goes straight to the product. So that means you can actually shop the product from your Milano board. You can share the board with family members, friends. So I added Noah to this board and just asked him to put a few thoughts in. If I'm working on a makeover for work, I'll always loop in Alana and our buyer Larissa. That way they just have everything they need. They can ask questions before we start ordering product. I wish I could ask Lottie her opinion.
More pink.
Yeah, Lottie's like, Mom, there's not enough pom-poms.
These are the pantry doors that I'm thinking of. I really love how they look kind of old school, and I think we can thrift some and just like rehang them on the front of this. But I'm torn because I love, love, love these tiles. I've kind of had them in my mind for a while. They're from clay tiles and they're really irregular and they have so much texture, and I just think they'll look so beautiful over there. But then I saw this house 5000. She just did a kitchen makeover and she used these gorgeous tiles. These are from fire clay tile, and there's just something so fun and quirky about those. Obviously, I'll have to ask my landlord what he thinks, but I don't know, there's something about like the irregular shape that's classic and will like match back to anything. I wanna know in the comments, would you guys pick something more funky and quirky in terms of backsplash, or would you go with something that's gonna be more timeless? One thing I know for sure is that the cabinet systems that are already here are in impeccable condition. So the actual like cabinets themselves can stay. We don't need to tear those down. They're totally fine. And the beauty about IKEA is that there's so many companies that sell like upgraded cabinet fronts. And my idea was that we were just gonna switch the fronts out, take the hinges off, and then replace them with new cabinet fronts. But like, we wanna keep the cabinet base itself. Also, this trim can come off, I think. Yeah, it's attached by an L bracket. So this should be able to just come off, meaning that there won't be any like wood trim left, and then we would replace the doors. I looked for this sticker, making sure that it's the section kitchen, but it's not. It's a kitchen system from IKEA from like prior to 2015. They discontinued this kitchen system in 2015. So I'm on the semi-handmade website and I'm just messaging them to say, do you do any custom fronts from this old kitchen system? They said no, but this is what happens in the planning process. You have a vision and then hiccups happen. Really good to know that we can take this trim off the bottom of the cabinets. Actually, I might try and do that now just to like, no, actually I shouldn't. I was gonna be like, let's demo. No, this video is about how we plan. We do not demo in a planning video.
So this is an optional step. I would suggest you do this if you are changing furniture pieces in a space or if you're bringing in new pieces. So this is the time when you want to do a kind of more sophisticated room layout. I love using SmartDraw, and it's a program that allows you to create a 2-scale diagram. It also allows you to drop in pieces of furniture and insert the measurements of like the sofa that you're looking at. And so you can actually see how it's going to look in your space and if it's going to fit. So step 5 is create a mood board. You guys have heard me talk about creating mood boards a lot, but this is such a great way of seeing how all the products you are drawn to are gonna look together in a room before you purchase. Often people ask me, I have a room with blue walls and I don't know what rug to pick. I think that's because people don't take that kind of extra step of creating a mood board and seeing what looks good paired together. A mood board process for me is never linear. I am constantly going back and forth, dragging things in, taking things away, and it's kind of like a puzzle. You kind of just want to get to a place where you feel good and you're excited about how the space looks on your screen. You don't want to rush this process unless you have like a very clear vision, all power to you, but I find like really stepping back, thinking about it, coming back, showing different people is always really helpful. You want fresh eyes.
Hey guys, so since you now know my whole process of planning a makeover, I thought I would actually go through the mood board I created and show you what I'm thinking for this kitchen. So let's start at the utility closet. I am really excited about the idea of doing vintage pantry style doors. These are doors that usually have a cutout in them. Usually there's glass there, but Noah and I both agreed that we want to get something that you can't see through because this closet is not, you know, gonna stay neat and tidy, and we don't want the pressure of it, like having to stay neat and tidy. So I am going to source something vintage, and maybe we're gonna have to do some sort of DIY to make the glass not see-through, but that's the idea for the doors. Noah and I were also saying that we really liked just the natural like wood, but it really all depends on what we can find. So in the mood board, I've also popped in this Pharaoh and Ball color pigeon. I'm actually planning in a video coming soon to paint this wall the color pigeon, so I thought it would look really nice like tied in together. We were also thinking of doing like an off black color, also from Pharaoh and Ball. So we'll have to like tackle that once we start to source the doors and see what's out there, but that's the plan for this side. And then moving on to this side, as I mentioned, we need a new fridge. So Noah and I are thinking we would love an off-white cream Smeg fridge. I mean, like, who doesn't? But Noah brought up a good point. A Smeg might not fit in this cutout. Like, this cutout is pretty specific. Like, I'm pretty sure the IKEA cabinets were built to fit this specific fridge. So Noah's gonna do some measurements and see what he can find and if a Smeg fridge will fit in there. Fingers crossed. Beside the fridge area is where we're gonna do the open shelving, and this was actually a last minute decision, but what I'm thinking is carrying the same backsplash that I'm putting over here all up on this wall. So we're gonna take the cabinets out, my dad is gonna help with that, and then backsplashing that whole wall. I think it'll look so good. Speaking of backsplash, the backsplash that I've chosen, I'm waiting for samples. I just ordered them last night. They're like a fun take on the standard subway tile. Really organic, and I think these tiles are really gonna bring the character into this space while still keeping it neutral and like current throughout the years. Because I find with those pattern tiles, like I would really love to do a pattern, but pattern tiles are gonna get outdated really quickly, you know? For the cabinets, I actually found a company, they're called New Cabinets. They make custom cabinet doors to size. So even if you have an old IKEA kitchen, they can still make the doors to fit that. We're not replacing any of the actual cabinets, we're simply just taking off the doors and then putting on new ones. And I'm thinking of doing a shaker style, so something again, really classic, but just like simple. And I would really love to do something in white. Noah was worried about the white cabinets blending too much with the backsplash and the counter, but we're gonna see once we get the backsplash how it all looks together, because my guess is the backsplash has enough like dimension and tones of color in it that it's not going to all blend in. For knobs, I was thinking of just using my gold hexagon knobs that were in the treehouse. I brought those with me and they're in great condition. The ceiling light from West Elm, and I love that it has two lights because actually this kitchen does get quite dark in the evenings, and I was trying to think of a way that I could like have, you know, two lights kind of hanging down, but there's only one outlet in the ceiling. So this light solves it, and I think it's just like classic. The gold inside is gonna tie in with the knobs, and the black exterior is gonna tie in with our stools. The bench area, I am going to reupholster the cushions. My friend Mandy has a company called Hems. I'll link them down below, and she's gonna help me reupholster the cushion covers and the pillowcases. And these are the fabrics that Noah and I are thinking. Something really dark but patterned for the seat cushions, and then for the Roman shade, something striped. So lots of patterns, but patterns that still kind of complement each other. I'm also thinking in this corner, we'll do some sort of herb garden. This was actually Noah's idea, and I love it. So I was thinking of getting those little like wall hooks, placing terracotta pots in them, and turning this into an herb garden that we can use when we're cooking. There you go, guys. That's the plan. Took me, you know, a few days of going back and forth and coming up with ideas last minute, but that's how it always happens. You have to like really think about it, step back, think about it some more until you land on something that feels right.
I hope you guys enjoyed getting a peek at what my kitchen is hopefully gonna look like when I make it over. My parents are coming in August. Hopefully my dad will be helping me make over this space. So make sure you're subscribed. You don't wanna miss this makeover. It's gonna be kind of epic. We're gonna overhaul this kitchen. I can't wait. Thank you very much to Milanote for sponsoring this video. Make sure you use the link in my description box down below to sign up for a free account. As always, I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.